Peace, peace. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you. Shalom, hotep, assalamu Allah. Peace to the gods, peace to the goddesses. Peace is the nature of the original black nation. I'm your brother in the struggle for peace, truth, reality, freedom, justice, and equality. Delivering to you once again the messenger's message in this age of mess. Brother Minister Alifullah. Beloved, today I just want to share something with you. I want to just tap on a little nuance that I notice a lot of. You know what I mean? Like, I'm so happy to see that our people are waking up slowly but surely, each and every way, each and every day. Black people are actually waking up. You know what I mean? The struggle continues, of course, you know what I mean? And we're going to always have our opposition, our trials, our tribulations, the technology, the COINTELPRO, the sellouts, the devil's imps, our impersonators, all that's in the struggle for freedom, justice, and equality. But 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, a million, a billion, a trillion, a quadrillion, a quintillion, a sextillion, an octillion years from now, we won't even remember those sellouts. So I'm not sweating the small stuff. You know what I mean? But I want y'all to understand something that I noticed that's hindering these young brothers from really grasping what we're trying to teach here. I mean, like I just seen an inspiring, crack little clip somebody shared with me this morning. It was from Charlemagne the God, and he was saying some good points, and he was explaining how he grew up as a 5%er, and you know, he grew up believing that the black man was God. But then he added to it saying that, imagine that basically, that black men are basically so discriminated against, so oppressed, that we have to believe that we're God or divine just, you know, to get through the day. And then I seen this other little clip. Now, I mean, it was like this psychedelic gaseous wave, looked real pretty, whatever, but it basically was saying that God is a frequency that exists in you. I want y'all to understand something. It's not complicated. It's real simple. It's real natural. It's extremely factual, historical, biological, genetical, self-evident, axiomatic, whatever nomenclature or scientific term you want to put on it. The black man is God, period. We're not talking about black men saying they God for some psychological, pseudo, self-esteem reasons. We're not saying that there's some spark that's inside of our heart, that Jesus lives in us or Allah is in us, or we pointed our finger and no. We're saying for real, the black man is God. We're saying that 1 trillion% of all the thousands of gods you have ever heard of in your life is a 100% lie. It's all a goddamn mystery god, family. I mean, like it's deep how Yakub's technology got the whole world blind, deaf, and dumb. The messenger said even 3% of the 5% don't have the reality of God. And now Sayers arrived in 1974. Now, I mean, think about that. Now, I mean, 98% of the people, I mean, we got 85% mentally dead. We got the 10% rich slave makers of the poor. That's 95%. The message said now Sayers arrived in 1974 that actually 98% of the people don't have the reality of God. What do that mean? That means 3% out of 5% is still mentally dead, family. What do that mean? 3% of the 5%. Let's do the math. 3% of 5% in mathematics. Now, I mean, when you deal with ratios, anything that's under a 5 is considered a non-number. Like if you're doing your taxes and you had $100.38, the IRS be like, don't add the 38 cents. That don't even count. I mean, if you had $100.49, don't count that. Don't even mention the 49 cents. Know what I mean? But if you had $100.50, 50 cents and above is considered a whole number in integers or in mathematics. In applied mathematics, anything that is 50 and above is a whole number. So if you had $10.50, no, you got $11. So when it comes to the 5%, the poor righteous teachers who do not believe in the teachers of the 10%, the rich, the slave makers of the poor, we got to understand when the Most High Elijah Muhammad, the first, last, and only messenger of Allah, Sakin, God in person, when he revealed that Al Sayyid's arrived, as I said, in 1974 in his last tome or holy book, that 98% of black people do not have the actual reality of God. What the Holy Quran says in the Arabic, it says, Allahu ana al-haq. Allahu ana al-haq. Surah 22, ayat 6. Surah 22, chapter 22, verse 6 teaches us that the God is nothing but the reality. God is the sure truth, the pure truth, the natural thing, the cipher, the 360 degrees, the reality. So, if 3% of the 5%ers don't really understand the reality of God, though they got 120 degrees of knowledge, though they got 360 degrees of knowledge, though they heard Master Fard Muhammad, though they met Messenger Elijah Muhammad, they heard Malcolm X, they heard the Honorable Minister Farrakhan, the Honorable Salas Muhammad, they heard Father Allah, they studied the knowledge of self. They can teach it all day, they got supreme wisdom, but they lack an understanding. And in the universal order of things, knowledge plus wisdom minus understanding equals a mystery God, family. So we got to take and toughen up. We got to let our gods know, like, yo, God, you suffer from spiritual amnesia. We're saying that the black man is God, period. We're not saying it on some pseudo psychosis, self-esteem type of way. No, we're saying, like, we can show and prove it. Like, I could teach on that. It might take me 10 hours, you know what I mean? But freestyle, I could literally show you how the mind, which many scientists refer to as energy, the 4,000 religions may call it alcoholic or the creator or whatever, you know what I mean? It's synonymous, it's the same thing, just in a different way. But I can show and prove to you the mathematics of how there's nothing in this universe, we could believe anything, but there's nothing in the known universe covering 640 quadrillion miles that manifests a higher life form other than human beings. And when we study human beings, we be like, yo, human beings, you got male human beings and female human beings. I love my sisters, the goddesses. However, the womb of man is from the original man. The XY chromosome is the determinator of all life forms on this planet. If that seed, that sperm says that it's a Y, it's going to produce testosterone. It's going to produce a boy baby. If it says it's an X, it's going to produce estrogen. It's going to produce a little baby girl. But the black man determines that. Why we say the black man? Because as Gregor Mendel, the Austrian monk, realized, there are dominant recessive genes in the universe. There are dominant recessive thoughts in the universal order of things. So, if we deal with reality, we deal with the mathematics, we deal with logic, we deal with genetics, we deal with culture, we deal with history. When we study ancient Iraq or Babylon, when we study ancient Persia or Iran, when we study ancient Kemet or Egypt, ancient Nubia or the Sudan, ancient Kush or Ethiopia, when we study ancient Azania or South Africa, we see that all over the planet Earth, all over in India, all over in China, all over in the Olmec civilization. The black man was, is, and shall be God, family. Let's get this spooky stuff out of here.